In real estate, how is AI going to change the real estate landscape, do you think?
Let's start how it's not going to change it. People are using it for ad copy, listings, putting a property on the market, searching buyer matches. It's actually going to make it worse. So let's say you're doing lead generation and you've got this script that you normally send out, and then you ask AI to do it. And AI grabs the average of what real estate agents do. Suddenly you're actually shooting mass messages at an average standard to more people. So you're actually annoying more people.
Yeah, that is a shame.
So the real question is what value can you give to the people you're serving? Take AI away first, and then work out what is your infrastructure and process. Like, what is it doing? How does it work? And then applying AI over the top. Like, I think AI is going to change, if used properly. I think it'll change the agent's role into a interpreter and a bit of emotional support. That's how it'll impact people, but not the way people are thinking. Like, people are thinking, oh, AI will just, run rampant. I actually think it's going to make a lot of businesses worse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think there'll be a couple of companies that get it right.
Yeah.
I think everybody else, all the activities that a consumer doesn't like, that a real estate agent does, will be enhanced by AI. So if they're getting bombarded with messages, they'll have more messages. If they're getting calls to action, they'll have more calls to action.
Yeah.
So if you are combining AI, what is AI? Well, what does it actually do? Like, it's supposed to be intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. So how is it used? How can it be used? Like, I think the way people are using it is incorrect. Like, I think the way people are using it is wrong because their processes and structures are already wrong.
Yeah.
They're exasperating it. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. They're using it just to outsource lower level tasks instead of thinking, how can I leverage it to give a greater experience?
Well, that's the thing. Like, in real estate, it's like no one's thinking about a greater experience.
No.
They're trying to get more leads.
Yeah.
More leads. And so if you're trying to get more leads, you're going to make more tech products that get you more leads. And all that you're going to do is you're going to take your broken system that nobody likes already, and you're going to apply AI to it, and then you're going to exasperate.
And then do it on scale.
And then do it on scale, right?
That's a shame, yeah.
So that's what it allows you to do on scale. But real intelligence is embedding a cross between automation, predictive analysis, which is your own logic, and then AI scales that.
Yeah.
So what are you scaling on? That's the real question. And so there's going to be a couple of companies that get this right. And then I think a lot of agents are going to connect with those couple of companies.
Yeah.
And eventually there'll be two things. There'll be a brand that's got like values and character and is well trusted.
Yep.
And there'll be artificial intelligence, AI, and automated logic. Those two things will combine, and there'll be a few brands left, and there'll be a few agents. Like, any agent operating outside of those two things won't have a future. It's a big call, but
that is a big call.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
100%. Top agents know what to do in a campaign, how to speak to an owner, how to frame messages, how to add context to truth, how to guide. They're top agents, right?
Yep.
Those top agents go and hire people to go and help them do that, right? Got it? And then those agents end up going to grab other agents. Like, they'll grab other agents and they'll say, listen, I'm going to make you an agent like me. Then they'll start to train those agents and work out, actually, I can't train you to be like me. You don't know what to say at the right time. You're not charismatic enough. You don't say the right wording. I'm going to teach you sales training. Then they get sales coaches in. Then they do role play training. And most of the role play is about objection handling. Yeah. And it goes on and on. And if the consumer could see what the agent was training on, they would never use the agent. Like, how to handle an objection from a consumer. How does that benefit a consumer?
It doesn't. It's all about the agent.
Exactly. There's no value. Yeah. And so you go and apply AI over that.
Oh.
Nothing changes. It gets worse.
It's like a worse experience.
So
on scale.
the real question isn't that. The real question is, how many agencies have worked out how to give incredible value to people, and then how many of those agencies are invested in technology and AI? And suddenly the pool gets really small, doesn't it?
Very small.
Extremely small, because you've got to have a great methodology.
Yep.
A good background in tech.
Yep.
You've got to be extremely caring.
Yeah.
You've got to have incredible empathy. You've got to be doing it for the right reasons, the right intent, and you've got to have a background in sales somehow. and some type of logic to how you work. And so the top agents aren't going to give up what they're earning right now to go and put all that together. And so there's only a few agencies in the world that have those methodologies. And then you've got even fewer of those that are invested in technology. And so those agencies at the top who have that methodology and are invested in tech will actually control the entire market. And then everybody else will plug into that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's what will happen. That's what will happen. Well, you saw what we were doing when I first explained it to you with the technology.
I know.
Is it just AI? Is it just AI?
No, I mean, just AI would be how I use ChatGPT, which is not very helpful. It's just responding to the prompts you give it. But
Yes.
what you have built is a tool that, because you've programmed your own logic into it, and so it's a tool that anticipates, okay, well, what is the buyer going to need in this situation? And then it meets that need before they even ask, which is so much more powerful than, them having to ask and you just being a tactician reacting to whatever happens.
It's anticipation, it's not persuasion.
Yeah.
So people are teaching persuasion. People are teaching, what do I say? But what we're doing is we're saying we're going to earn trust by anticipating what you want or what you need well before it happens. That's what creates trust. And then you suddenly want to listen to me because I have your best interests at heart. But anticipation is much harder to do than reaction.
Yeah.
Like reaction is somebody sends a message and the AI knows how to respond.
Yeah.
Anticipation is you can't tell an AI. If you were to tell an AI, right, here's the prompting, here's the learning, here's everything, and it sends one word incorrectly to a seller when they're in an emotional state of selling their home and they lose trust in that message, the whole deal falls apart. You'll lose hundreds of dollars. You'll lose trust with the people you're serving, and you'll create more of a problem, which is back to my point. If you were to apply AI with no logic or steering, you would actually exasperate the problem you already have.
Yeah.
And so we're not using agentic AI. No. We're using a deterministic logic tree, which means it's engineering the future, which means it knows that Fred on an auction on Saturday could be feeling a certain way and needs this type of message. It knows that Mary and Jack, who are preparing their home for the open home and it starts to rain outside, are about to send a message asking what happens next. It knows that when there's multiple interest in the property and you need to let buyers know where the price guide could be, you use higher sales to justify purchase or you add value justification to the cost of construction.
Yeah.
And so that is called logic, anticipation, predictive analysis. But where does that come from? It comes from somebody sitting there predetermining what's going to happen and then applying it to a system and then overlaying AI.
Yeah. And you know what? From what I've seen, this does not just create trust. It actually makes the vendor feel really cared for because, I have this one friend, she always knows like, oh, Jasmine right now needs like a cup of tea or whatever. And she just does it.
Yes.
And when that happens, I can't even tell you, like, there's not many people that can do that. But this one friend, when she does that, I can't even tell you how cared for it makes me feel. And that's the experience that this product is giving the market. It's incredible.
It's like, I heard this thing before, right? It's like what defines love. And a husband and a wife are sitting down and there's like 20 years. It's actually funny. It's actually really funny. My parents were arguing for not so long ago. Anyway, they were kind of arguing, right? And then what they did is my mum wasn't really speaking to my dad. It's typical kind of like an older married couple argument. Anyway, so one day we're at a family barbecue.
Yeah.
And my mum refuses to speak to my dad. She's very angry with him.
Oh, no.
And she pulls me aside and she says, "Go and get your dad a Pepsi. He needs one now." And
what?
And the thing is, that's what love is. It's like what someone said once is like, if I go up to get a bottle of water and I'm married or whatever, I'm in love with my wife, I'll just know to get her a bottle of water too because she needs one. I wouldn't ask her, would you like a bottle of water?
Yeah.
There are levels to it.
Yeah.
And so great human reaction or anticipation is really love because it's empathy.
For sure.
It's giving someone what they need. The problem with AI is for AI to work on its own, it would need to know the time, the trigger, the feeling, the moment, the wording. For an agent who's like an average agent, they would have to have enough empathy and experience to know the nuts and bolts of the sale, the decision making around it, and the timeline for it. And they'd have to care enough.
Yeah. And they'd have to have capacity across many different buyers and sellers. I mean, how can they do that?
They can't.
They just
now,
can't.
Top agents can. They get really pressured.
Yeah.
And they hold the weight.
Yeah.
And then they go and try. And you see it all the time. Top agents trying to train junior agents coming through. It's almost laughable how that happens.
Wow.
because the top agent has an expectation that the junior agent can do what the top agent does, but the top agent doesn't even know what they're doing. So when a top agent picks up the phone and reassures somebody, and a top agent says, oh, that's like a quick role play. Hey, Jasmine, we're opening the property tomorrow. We've had 65 inquiries, which is excellent. A couple of people have driven past. We want to see tomorrow how many of those 65 inquiries turn into engaged buyers. After we know how many people turn into engaged buyers, we can then see how many of them stay connected once we give them the range of price.
Okay.
If that starts to drop off, here's what we're going to do next. But if nobody turns up, Jasmine, it's going to tell us what we should be doing next. So whatever happens tomorrow is going to be worth it.
Okay.
So now all of a sudden your reaction is, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I see a world where there's no response whatsoever except for thank you. That's like a completely predictable outcome all the time.
Just gratitude.
That's right. And I don't think anybody in the world is going to be able to build this without whoever's got the greatest process, the greatest system, and the greatest anticipation structure will be able to overlay AI and just go to a whole new level. And it'll speed things up. Yeah, look, we're doing edits right now.
Yeah.
AI, faster. But our edits were always good. Now with the prompt, our edits are even better. But if our edits were really bad before, well then, and we applied it with AI, our edits will still be bad, we just get more of them. And so it's your own intelligence mixed with AI. But anyone out there who's thinking, oh, agent intelligence, I'm just going to put AI. Where do you put it? Go try it. Go let AI talk to a buyer or a seller. Not in response. In response, it's easy. Hey, Omar, I want the contract of sale. That's easy.
Yeah.
Sure, here's the contract of sale.
You're being told what to do.
You're being told what to do.
Yeah.
The actual person's telling the AI what to do.
Literally.
It's a prompt.
Yeah.
It's effectively a prompt. Asking a question, getting a response is a prompt one way and a reaction the other way. That's not intelligence. Intelligence is sending the contract knowing that the buyer needs it now, before the buyer goes and picks up their phone to ask.
Yeah. And that's such an awful experience for the buyer to have to be like, oh, where's my contract?
Friction.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's how we solve the problem using AI.